Hi everyone, it's your girl Joanna and I am tired. Just kidding. So this is my last video here and I'll be seeing you in the next few more. So this is implementing IPv4 network services. So before that, let's just power these on and let me just check or review because this is long. Oh my god, it is long. Oh my god, it is long. We can do this. This is the last one. Welcome to the Implementing IPv4 Network Services Practice Lab. In this module, we will be provided with instruction and devices needed to develop our hands-on skills. So, the implementation of essential Internet Protocol or IP services is critical. So, IPv4, the foundation protocol that has long been the backbone of the internet, continues to play a crucial role in aiding the communication between the devices by assigning unique addresses to each one. So as the demand for IP addresses grew exponentially, the adoption of IPv4 became increasingly important to address the limitation of IPv4 and ensure the continued expansion of the digital infrastructure. Additionally, services like Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol (DHCP) and domain name so systems or DNS enhance network functionality by automating IP address allocation and translating user-friendly domain names into numerical IP addresses, respectively. So in this module, we will explore the implementation of DHCP, DNS records, and IPv4 in the network environment. So our learning outcomes is that after in this module we will be completing this following exercises. So exercise 1 DHCP, exercise 2 DNS records, and exercise 3 IPv4 configuration. So after completing this module, we should be able to install a DHCP server, configure and test the DHCP server and add CNAME record. So hold on, I'm just gonna get a water. So enable SLAC or SLAAC IPv4 addressing. So our lab duration is 1 hour, but you know me, I know you, we can finish this within, I don't know, 30 minutes. So our lab topology. So exercise 1 DHCP. So dynamic host configuration protocol or DHCP automatically assign the IP addresses and related configuration information to devices within a network, eliminating the need for manual IP address configuration and streamline the process of connecting devices to a network. So learning outcomes, etc. So let's start. Install a DHCP server. The Windows server DHCP server is a feature within the Windows Server operating system that automates the distribution and management of IP addresses to devices on a network. So in this task, we will install a DHCP server. Step 1, connect to Win11, and then we need the command prompt. It's loading, and press enter. So observe the Ethernet adapter is not configured for dynamic IP addressing, but the Ethernet 2 adapter is configured for dynamic IP addressing, DHCP enabled, yes. This means that once the DHCP server is configured, the Ethernet 2 adapter will receive IP address. So connect to ACI DMZ01. So let's just wait for this to load. Mhm. So let's just wait for server manager, add roles, features, and then, okay, click next, click next, click next. Select the checkbox to DHCP server, add features, click next. So click next, click next, install. So step 13 in the add roles feature, we sort the installation page. Once the installation has succeeded rather, we can close. But still, it's still installing. You guys can watch anything, chat with your loved ones whatsoever. Okay, we can now close. Notification flag icon. In the post deployment, select complete DHCP configuration and then click next. Creating a security group allows for effective delegation of administrative tasks. By assigning the necessary permissions to the security group, specific individuals or teams can manage DHCP settings. So, select commit. Hold on. DHCP. Okay, commit. So, close. So task 2, configure and test DHCP server. To test a DHCP server, you will use a client device within the network and verify if it successfully obtains an IP address, subnet mask, and other configuration parameters automatically. So in this task, we will configure and test the DHCP server. So step 1, connect to I am connected, and then dashboard. Click on the tools, and then DHCP. Okay. So DHCP pane, select next to this one, then select IPv4, select right click on IPv4 and then new scope, and then click next. So name field, click next. So starting. We have 192.168.0.95. We have 192.168.0.99. Click next. Just click next. Click next. So the HCP lease duration is the period of time for which a dynamically assigned IP address is valid for a device within a network, after which it must be renewed or reassigned. Just click next. So the HCP options are configurable parameters such as default gateways, DNS servers, and subnet masks. The DHCP server provides the client along with their dynamically assigned IP addresses. This facilitates proper network configuration. Step 10. 680 168 0 250. Add in the new scope. Click next. Click next. Click next. Wireshark. Okay. So, Wireshark will be used to capture the packets associated with an IP address being used by DHCP. So, double click on the Ethernet. So, connect to ACID 01. In the new scope wizard, activate. Oh, okay, my bad. I'm supposed to connect here and then Wireshark and then. Oops, no. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. Ethernet. And then collect, go back here and then scopes, click next, then finish. So go back in Win11 and then select command prompt, enter. And then, so the ipconfig slash renew command in the Windows is used to renew the DHCP lease of a network interface requesting a new IP address configuration from the DHCP server. Observe the Ethernet 2 ADAP has now been issued an IP address from the configured DHCP scope. Taskbar, select Wireshark. In the Wireshark, click the red square. And in the Wireshark, add filter DHCP, enter. So, DORA is an acronym name for representing the four steps process of the HCP in Wireshark. DORA process through the HCP package. Discover, offer, request, act. So in Wireshark, select the DHCP act frame. In the frame details pane, select the dynamic host configuration protocol. Oops, what is it? Open image. Okay. So scroll down, then observe the configured HCP information, the option provided in the client during the IP address assignments process. Next, observe the IP address assignment on the DHCP. So depending on the amount of time that the DHCP server has been activated, you may have more than one DORA process listed in the Wireshark. This would represent one automatic and one manually initiated HCP addressing process. So connect to ACI. In the DHCP window, select IPv4. Double click on scope. In the middle pane, in the DHCP window, select scope on the left pane. Address list. So, to ensure the list is updated, you may select the green circular update. What? Or in the action pane, select more action. Refresh. Once complete, observe that the IP address have been issued by DHCP server. The second IP address H2 is on, also on configure service. Close the DHCP window. Step 7, connect to Win11 and then close Wireshark. Quit without saving. So close. And next. So exercise 2, DNS record. So DNS are domain name system records, translate human readable domain names into numerical IP addresses. Various types of DNS records serve distinct purposes, including the address A record, which maps a domain name to an IPv4 address, and the mail exchanger MX record, which specifies mail servers for the domain. Other records types such as CNAME or canonical name text NNS or name server provide additional information about aliases, next data, and authoritative name servers respectively. So collectively forming a comprehensive framework for efficient and accurate domain resolution. So in this exercise, we will discover the DNS server manager on ACIDZ01. So how to CNAME record. So a CNAME or canonical name DNS record is used to create an alias for a domain, allowing it to point to another domain's canonical or primary name. This record is particularly useful when implementing services that need to be accessible under multiple domain names while maintaining a single. Ayaw. Konti lang ah. Konti lang. Hindi, konti lang na pagkain. Ulam. Kasi konti lang. Babalik ko sa'yo yan. In this task, we will create a task, a CNAME. So connect to ACID01. Let's just wait for it to load, and I'm sorry for that because that's my uncle. Let's just wait. Tools. We need DNS. Double click the DNS pane. Forward lookup zone. Forward lookup zone subtrates human readable domain names to their corresponding IP addresses. Reverse lookup zone perform the reverse translation by mapping IP addresses to their associated domain names. So in the DNS manager window, double click on in the DNS window, I double clicked it. So in the DNS manager window, in the DNS pane, right click on AC com and select new alias CNAME. So this one, and click browse. So in the browse up window, double click, and then double click, and then double click on this one, and then ACID C01, click OK. In the new resource record window, select OK. Observe the new M12 CNAME records that has been added to the acplub.com forward lookup zone. So connect to Windows 11, then command prompt. Then as a record that already exists in the forward lookup zone enables pinging via the ACID01 name. So in the command prompt window, and then the M12 name record which was added and is an alias for the ACID01 record enables this. Whoopsie. Enables command to work. Observe that the ping returns for each command. Close this one and then connect to ACID01. Close the DNS manager window, and then next. Exercise 3. IPv6 configuration. So IPv6 configuration with a dual stack involves a simultaneous support of both IPv4 and IPv6 protocols on a network interface, allowing devices to communicate using either protocol as needed. Stateless address auto configuration, or SLAAC, is a method in IPv6 where devices automatically configure their own addresses by combining the new network prefix received from the router with their interface identifier. This simplifies assignments process without the need for DHCP server. So in this exercise, we will enable SLAAC and create a dual stack network interface. So enable SLAC IPv addressing. So stateless address auto configuration allows devices to automatically configure their IPv6 addresses without the need for a DHCP v6 server. Windows operating systems use SLAAC in conjunction with router advertisements to derive the network prefix and create unique interface identifiers for IPv6 addresses. So in this task, we will enable SLAC IPv6 addressing. Connect to I am connected, and then we need the command prompt. So type config all. The config all command in Windows provides network configuration details including IP addresses, subnet masks, default gateways, and DNS servers. So in the taskbar, select the network icon, then select network and internet settings. Network select change adapter. In the network connections window, right click on the internet and select properties. In the internet properties window, select the checkbox next to internet protocol version. This one. So configuring TCP IPv6 settings allows users to set parameters such as IPv6 addresses, gateway information, and DNS server preferences for a specific network interface. Observe that the interface is configured to obtain its own IPv6 address and to automatically disemploys as LAEC. So Windows select cancel. Click OK. I don't know, it doesn't show. Command prompt configure IP config. So observe that the assigned link local IPv6 IP address assigned to the Ethernet adapter combined with this creates a dual stack for the internet interface. So let's close command prompt and then close the network connections window. Close this one. So well done. So well done, we have completed the implementing IPv4 network services practice lab. So in this module, we explored the implementation of IPv4 network services to include the installation and configuration of a DHCP server, the addition of a DNS record, the DNS forward lookup zone, and the creation of a dual stack on a network exercise. So in summary, we've done exercise 1, the HCP, exercise 2, DNS records, and the exercise 3, IPv configuration. So now we should be able to install a DHCP server, configure and test the DHCP server, add a CNAME record, and then enable as LAC IPv6 addressing. So that's all. This is Joanna, and I'll be seeing you in the next videos. Adios.